Hello, YouTube. Here's my boy.
Press the applications bell and the subscribe button in below.
And thank you.
And thank you.
Hello, YouTube. Top of the morning to you. Want to thank all my subscribers for following and watching, and all my newcomers. A little info on driving in the Philippines and renewing your driver's license. It's that time for Grace to renew hers. Well, it's not as simple as going to LTO and just handing your license and paying your fees and getting your picture taken, and that's it. It don't happen like that here. First things you got to do is register online. Then you got to go through their portal and do their online test. And the test consists of 25 questions. Just basic knowledge of their driving rules. And they're worded a little strange, so Grace managed to take the test, and she passed. She missed 4 questions, and a couple of them my fault. The way they're worded. And so it's not a big deal, because as long as you get 13 of them right, you pass. The next step is, once you pass, there's a certificate that you have to get printed off. Then she hasn't been to LTO yet. Then you have to go and get your physical, which consists of the doctor just sitting there and basically saying, "Are you alive?" And they do a quick eye exam, I think, if you want to call it that. Then you'll have to go into the LTO office and fill out an application. Now, I have done this several times since I've been here. This is before the test, and filled out the application. The strange part about it is, I can't get them to change my address. I still have my original address when I lived in Lapalapa and Brookfield. And each time I've renewed, I've done an address change. Now, the strange part about it is, if there's an accident, who do you contact? Well, my wife naturally is on my driver's license with her address, which is her current address. I haven't figured that one out yet. But anyway, when you go in, you get your application, then you pay your fee, and you wait. Then they take your picture again. I don't know why, because I still have my original picture on my driver's license. But they do. And if you're lucky, they can print you a driver's license. Now, the last time I did this, there was no plastic available. So I kept checking with the LTO about every 2 months or so. No plastic. A little over a year, I finally got a driver's license. Of course, they said my old license with the receipt would work during the traffic check. So I wasn't real concerned about it, because I knew I'd already did the renewal process. So I will update you once Grace gets hers completed. Now they've changed some things on it. When you renew your license, you better pay attention to the restrictions. Because now they make a difference between automatic and standard shift, both motorcycle and automobile. And say, for instance, you're driving an automatic and you're listed on your driver's license as manual shift. That's a violation. Same with motorcycles. Now, I've instructed Grace to make sure she has both on her license. And we will check it before we leave LTO. Because if you don't, for some odd reason, throughout time, you may change vehicles, and it might be a standard shift or it might be an automatic. It depends. But that's some of the things you need to be made aware of. Only place I know to make getting a driver's license renewal complicated this year. Now, there's another little thing that most people that don't live in the Philippines must understand. Everything goes through Manila. Yeah, that'd be like, I'll use the United States, for example. What if your driver's license renewal had to go through Washington, D.C.? 50 states sending everything to Washington, D.C. How confusing, and how much would that put the brakes on? Yeah, you're correct. It'd be a nightmare. It is here too. Because if for some reason or another you go for your renewal and the system is in an update or offline for some reason, I'm sorry. You have to come back. For us foreigners, that's not really a big issue, just a hassle doing it. But you take a regular Filipino, it's an extra expense, which most cannot afford. And that's one of the reasons why they have so many driving without a driver's license. Because little things like that causes a problem for them. It's an issue. And most of them don't go far from home anyway. So they just get it in their mind, well, if I don't renew, if there's a traffic check, I'll just wait it out until they leave. The funny thing is, you see that quite regular. When you're going to come up on a traffic check. Because you'll see a couple of hundred motorcycles parked beside the road waiting till they move. I smile because, it's, because the traffic check, and sometimes they're in plain view. And they don't come down and check them. Just the ones that go through. I've been through several road checks throughout time, but I've always driven legally. So that's a little info on some of the things you experience here in the Philippines, especially when it comes to driving and getting a driver's license renewed. Now, mine's not up for 2 more years. Now, Grace is going to be, her renewal will give her a 10-year renewal. And my understanding of it is, I haven't looked into it in depth, but there's certain periods that you have to get some kind of a medical or something like that. I don't know. I just have to wait and see. But that's some things you need to be made aware of here. Now, I won't be able to qualify for the 10-year. I'll probably get a 5-year license. Yeah, I know you're going to ask why. I think it was last year. I was in, during the pandemic, unload a truck at that time. Well, maybe it was year before last. It was up for renewal in March, I think. Anyway, the inspection stations were overrun and couldn't get in. So several months passed, us trying to get in to get that inspection done for exhaust, for so forth, so we can renew our vehicle registration. Well, we had to make a trip to San Carlos, and it was a day that we actually purchased a deep freeze. And on the way leaving San Carlos, there's one straggling LTO officer or PMB, I can't remember exactly which he was, on a motorcycle. And he pulled off on the left side of the road. I was driving on the right side. And he started stopping traffic, and I got stopped. And I got a citation for not having my registration current. And in the process, he also wrote me up for reckless driving, and that one I don't understand. You know, I tried to argue it, but it didn't. But nothing I could change. So we had to go back to LTO the next day and try to get into the emissions again. And Grace explained it to one of the guys there at emissions that we needed to do this because we've been cited and we need to get it taken care of within 10 days. And I think it was 10 days. It might have been 3 days. It was 3 days, 72 hours. So they put us in front of the line so we could get everything taken care of. And we had to go to LTO and pay our fines. Well, registration and fines in pesos was 16,000 pesos. Of course, 5,000 something of that was the registration. The rest of it was for the fine that I've been issued, and we couldn't argue it. We couldn't get, we explained to them why, but we still had to pay it. Grace got upset about it afterwards because she knew that it was, guess what, a skin tax. Because they recognized that I was a foreigner. But anyway, it was said and done, and I looked at Grace and I said, it's just part of living here. There's no need to get upset. We'll live through it, and we'd be okay. And we are, as you can see. But anyway, I wanted everybody to know a little something that you can be made aware of here. And hopefully this will help inform you if you have to renew or whatever, or if it's just information you want to gather. But wishing everybody a great day, and hopefully everything goes well. And may I ask you to subscribe, like, and share, please? Thanks for viewing.